Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nicole. Thank you so much for being here. If you are new, I haven't done an intro like that in a long time, but I figure there might be some new people here, especially because I think this video is going to get a lot of interest. So this video is going to be one of many, I hope, of me doing a writing routine of a famous author. So I'm going to start this off. I don't know if this is going to be the first one I publish. It might be Virginia Woolf. Writing routine. And so I'm currently writing my first novel. I'm hoping to show you guys the progress of that, and then later on the progress of carrying, thank you, and all of that. I am fighting this cold, y'all. Like, I'm a little stuffy, but it is what it is. I'm just sick. It's fine. Alright, so I'm going to do her routine, Virginia Woolf. Her routine though starts at 10 a.m. It is almost 4 p.m. A lot of these writing routines have them right in the morning, and one, I'm not a morning person, and two, I am a brand strategist. I do have client work, so the mornings are usually meant for me to do like their projects, working on client stuff, answering emails, so I don't necessarily have the time to like sit and write for 3 hours in the morning, but I'm going to do my best. So even though it's going to be 4, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write for 3 hours. So that'll end around 7. Her writing routine was from like around 10 a.m., 9:30 a.m. to about 12:30 p.m. or 1 p.m. Then she'll stop, and then she will have lunch. And then go into journaling, writing letters, reading, enjoying her day. So mine is going to stop right at 7. That will give me time to start making dinner. And then I'm going to do some journaling, and I also have some really cute like note cards that I thought I could write notes to like friends and put them in the post. I thought that would just be adorable. And then I'll do some reading later on. But the first thing is if I could write for 3 hours. I'm a little intimidated by that because usually when I write it's like maybe an hour max and the creativity has to come out. But to like sit in front of my laptop for 3 hours and write the novel. I know some people sometimes use this time too in modern times, would use that 3 hours to not just write creative writing, but maybe write some like articles and things like that. But I really wanted to be dedicated to like creative writing for 3 hours. So that is what I'm going to do right now. So I'm going to have some background music because it's hard to listen to an audiobook when I'm writing. I'm listening to an audiobook right now, or I was, and it's just hard to listen to someone else speak while you're trying to write. So I'll have some background music, it'll be very calming, and then I'll just get into writing. So that was a very long intro. I am sorry. And yeah, let's just set it up and dive into this novel. I'm really excited. I know what sections I want to work on. And again, this is writing. This isn't going to be editing or revising, so it doesn't have to be perfect, right? It's just writing for 3 hours. That's me giving myself a pep talk. It doesn't have to be perfect, Nicole. Alright, thank you so much for being here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you at the end. Okay, so I decided to tighten up the dialogue between two characters. It was a very important conversation, but I wanted to add some more description because I felt like the dialogue was pretty good, but I wanted to set the scene and give some more context. So that's what I started to do in this chapter. And then I started to write like a second chapter to really give a little bit more backstory. So that's what I decided to work on in the beginning. And so like I mentioned, I actually started to write a few more chapters. I needed to write a chapter that was, this chapter was going to be really short There wasn't a lot of climax to it, but it was sort of, think of it as like if it was a movie, like the montage of just like everyday life, because I went from a very climactic scene to another climactic scene, and I needed something to bridge those two scenes, and so that's what I was working on. And then I also wanted to illustrate the community one of the characters had, and so there's a whole chapter of like her friends, and that's what we were working on. Alright, so we are about almost an hour and a half in. We're getting there. I don't know if you guys noticed, I'm not typing a whole lot. I'm actually reading more because there was a few chapters I wanted to write, but what's great about writing, for like 3 hours, or being prompted to write for 3 hours, is that it does require you to look at like the story structure. And so one of the things I noticed is one of my characters has this very big arc, and so in self-discovery, like most characters in the book do. And so in one chapter I have them doing pretty good, you know, like going through the changes of their lives and doing it in a very positive way, but the very next chapter their life is a complete hot mess. And I realize, I'm like, oh F, I need like even just a few sentences or a paragraph to connect from doing well to being a hot mess. So now I'm wondering, do I write another chapter in between, or do I just write like a paragraph buffer to describe the change within like a month? And then also, is it realistic for someone's life to demise so quickly in a month? Or should I give it a little bit longer? So I'm just thinking of all those things, but gonna get back to writing. And every time I take a break though, I'm adding the minutes to that break. So don't worry, it's still gonna be 3 hours. All right, back to writing. When you're writing for 3 hours, there's a lot of like reading and editing that just, I think, naturally happens, because you could only have so much like just creativity coming out of you. You want to reread what you wrote and if it makes sense to what you're currently writing. And then what I also love about having to sit down and write for 3 hours is that it's pretty much how I write. I sort of just word vomit on the page, and then I go back and edit. And so this allows me to do a lot of word vomiting. Alright, so it is about, you guys can tell here, 5:51. I did not look at my calendar before I filmed this. I assumed I had tonight free, because I usually do. But my Tuesday evening meeting got moved to Wednesday. So I'm going to do that meeting, and then I'm going to come back to this video. So unfortunately, it's not going to be exactly like Virginia Woolf's schedule, because I need to take an hour to do this meeting. But I do have a few minutes, so I'm going to finish out this thought, do my meeting, come back, write for another hour, and then get to journaling. So I'm excited for that, and making dinner. We're making this work for 2024, yeah, okay? Alright. I love that you all can see my very serious face when I write. It's like, I feel like I look angry, but I'm not angry. I'm just really focused. So pretty much right after my meeting ended, I got right back into writing, and I just started to finish up some of the chapters I currently was writing. I wanted to clean up the new chapters I wrote and to make sure they made sense with the previous chapters and the chapters following them. You know, like the storyline made sense. But again, like I said, this whole 3 hours sort of just allows you to word vomit and just say a bunch of stuff, and then you can go back and edit it. So it was really nice. Okay, so it's gotten darker. The sun has set, and or it's setting, but it is getting darker. So it is 8:05. There you go. The camera died, but I kept typing. I wrote pretty much about 3 chapters. So in those 3 hours, I wrote like 3 chapters. Some of them were small. They were just fluffers. I was able to like actually write out this idea I had for one of my characters, and it was like, I don't know, like just really, when I was writing it, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I sort of kept it very like minimal. Like I thought the character was gonna like travel somewhere and have this confrontation in person, but I realized for the relationship that he had with the person he was gonna have this confrontation with, it just made more sense to have it over the phone, and so it's like a lot of phone dialogue. There we go. So yeah, that is what I worked on. Now we get to go to journaling. So I'm really excited for that. So let's get into some journaling. It is 8, so I also have to start dinner. So journaling and dinner. Alright, so yesterday I filmed Virginia Woolf's writing routine, and we ended it with some note writing. I thought I was going to journal, but I actually had these really cute note cards, and so I decided to just write some notes to some friends I'm going to mail off. Her writing routine is very cohesive to, honestly, people that work from home, so like myself, that have a lot of free time. You know, I just work from home, live with my husband and our cat, and I don't have a bunch of little ones running around. So I can sit at my laptop and write for 3 hours. You know, I can sit and be in like pajamas and write for 3 hours. So her writing routine is very much more like, do you have the space and time to do it? And at first I thought the 3 hours was going to be very difficult because I did it more in the evening, but I realized once I got in the flow of writing, giving myself 3 hours to write didn't necessarily mean like I had to write a lot in 3 hours. It gave me time to really think about like the characters in the story and then write. You know, it was nice. It gave me time and wiggle room to move around. So I liked her writing routine. Sorry, I'm looking at my calendar. Her writing routine. So I'm gonna continue filming this famous author's writing routines. The next few ones I sort of have in mind that I'm going to film will be Truman Capone's writing routine. That one is super chill. Like, I get to be in bed for that one. And then F. Scott Fitzgerald, that's one that I could drink. So I may make myself a nice cocktail. and that's an evening one. And then one I'm sort of scared about, to be honest, is Ernest Hemingway's, because I want to do that authentically. And that one is he woke up with the sun and started to write. It's summer in California, so the sun rises around like 5:45 a.m. and your girl is not a 5:45 a.m. type of girl, so don't know what I'm gonna do with that. I'm gonna still keep researching more authors' routines and figure out the ones I want to do. And yeah, we'll check this out. All right, see you guys later. Bye.